Guys, let's get it. First week of the season, gonna be a toughie. I feel like week one of the season is always a little bit tough because bad teams usually do really good, and good teams might struggle a tad bit, and you don't really have anything to go off of, for this upcoming year just yet. Because obviously it's the first game of the season, right? At least by like week 4, week 5, you kind of get in the progressions of knowing, okay, well, this stack works if, this quarterback and this wide receiver, they stack correctly, then you can buy back this certain player, double stack, triple stacks, like there's things you can actually start to learn throughout the season. Where week one, you don't know. I mean, defenses might be good, defenses might be bad. You don't know how it's going to work out. So starting off right away, the most expensive player in the slate is obviously Lamar Jackson. He's going against Houston, and Houston should be a very great matchup versus Lamar Jackson here, as their defense is pretty okay. I mean, it's decent. They do have Will Anderson Jr. now. They just picked up, but it's not really that scary that I'm going to sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm shaking in my spaceman boots over here, right? Nonetheless, though, this should still be a very viable option. Lamar Jackson obviously can get rushing yards. He can also get passing yards. This is a new offense under Todd Munkins. He does, of course, have new receivers. Nelson Aguilar, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers. So there's a lot of weapons to throw the ball to. I'll be honest with you. I feel like there's going to be a lot of... I think the most chalk week one will probably go to Lamar Jackson. And the reason why, again, he's on a new contract, right? Everyone's excited to see how that's going to work out. This is actually the player I'm avoiding the most. The reason why is because Todd Monken has came out himself and said this offense might struggle and they are far away from where he wants to be. So I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, because if the offensive coordinator is saying they're still going to work on things, that means that they might kind of go back to a run-first offense, especially for the first couple weeks until they get their things figured out. So again, this is another thing why week one, I'm just not interested in going for certain players, because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it early on like this. You're risking it for the biscuit for no said reason. Number 2, we got Jalen Hurts against New England. New England is that defense that always... they surprise you. You think they're going to be really good, or you think they're going to be really bad, and they end up becoming just mid. Nothing too crazy, but they always get a couple key stops per games that, really shut down offenses. So, I will say overall wise, it's like on paper they're not really that much better this offseason. They did get Christian Gonzalez, which was a huge draft pick. No one thought that he would fall to them in that draft. I'm probably going to be avoiding Jalen Hurts. He's just like Lamar, though. He has that mobile upside where we like that, especially with mobile quarterbacks, is they have a floor, right? So we know, like, for example, with Jalen Hurts, he's at least probably going to get 30-plus rushing yards a game. That's guaranteed 3 points, right? If he gets a touchdown, that's guaranteed 10 points. Now, of course, whatever he does on the throwing side, it just adds on to that, and that's just benefits and bonuses. Justin Fields plays Green Bay. I don't like that matchup. Green Bay's defense should be good week one. I know it's going to be an interesting situation because Jordan Love is starting for the first time. If he, struggles, throws some interceptions, that could help out Justin Fields for that said reason. Again, Justin Fields, another quarterback who really does, thrive with the fact that he has the mobile ability to him. That is going to give us a little bit more of a floor. And it's very possible week one that he starts off just trying to run around. But the Packers defense line with Preston Smith actually is pretty dang decent. I'm not going to mess with Joe Burrow versus Cleveland. Cleveland looking very good on defense, and also Joe Burrow is coming off a calf strain, and I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Herbo versus Miami is actually going to be the stack I go with week one. And here's why. Miami's defense is going to look good, right? But Jalen Ramsey is out for the first couple weeks of the season. So that's going to be a huge blow to their defense. Now, another thing is, I think that this offense with Tua can move the ball versus the Chargers defense, and I think they can put up some points in this game. if they can put up some points in this game's probably going to be a back and forth game, right? There's always one game every single week that we look at that we're trying to kind of maximize on this is going to be a back and forth, it's going to be a shootout, a lot of points are going to be scored, so that we can not only double, triple stack, but we can also buy back into some of these games. So let's start off with our Herbo stack. So for Herbo stack, as always, let me actually see where we got the Chargers here. Right here. Okay, there we go. So, as always with the Herbo stack, you gotta love the fact that he does have Austin Ekeler, because there's not many times I like to stack a quarterback and a running back together. The reason why is because usually if the quarterback has a great day, the running back won't have a great day. The running back has a great day, then the quarterback won't have a great day. So let's say, for example, the running back goes out there and puts up, 2 touchdowns. Let's say he vultures 2 touchdowns at the goal line. And even if he has only 30 yards a day, that's 2 touchdowns taken away from my quarterback. But Austin Ekeler is a pass-catching running back. He can run between the tackles, he can go catch the ball. So he has literally the best of both worlds. So it's very possible, especially because he's more of a pass catcher, and he could have an absolutely fantastic day, and that helps out Justin Herbert immensely. Now, usually Austin Ekeler, especially early on, is going to be chalk week 1 because everyone loves him. I mean, let's be honest. And he is right now fighting for a contract, so that's even more, expectations for him to try to go out there and put up some crazy numbers week 1 versus Miami. To find myself avoiding him is almost impossible. So I'm going to just go ahead and bite the bullet there. He's expensive. This stack in general, it's a little bit cheaper because Herbert is only $6,900, but it's still going to be an expensive stack. Now, the guy I am actually going to be avoiding is going to be Keenan Allen, though, for week 1. Week 1, not throughout the season. I'm saying for week 1, I think that they're going to try to double, triple team him. And I'm going to go more toward Mike Williams here, especially at $5,700. It's a little bit more affordable after I'm spending, Austin Ekeler $8,400. I want to go for a little bit cheaper option. Mike Williams last year and pretty much his whole entire career with the Chargers has always been a deep threat type of guy. He's a guy who goes up and get him. And he also is a guy that always scares the crap out of me in fantasy, because it's either like he has a big game or he has a nothing game, right? He either goes up, has that 60-yard touchdown, or he doesn't really have much at all. And yeah, so that's what scares the crap out of me with him. But I'm risking for the biscuit here. So let's go with our buyback options. Just doing a double stack here, Ekeler and Mike Williams. I'm not too interested in the tight ends, I'll be honest with you. Everett maybe a tad bit, but not week 1. And Miami has some pretty solid linebackers, so I'm going to probably stay clear of that. Now, here's something I always like to talk about when it comes to buyback options. I don't usually, if I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, like this game probably will be, I'm not usually going to buy a buyback option in the running back position for the other team. The reason why is because, again, if it's going to be a blowout back and forth, then most likely the running backs are not, unless they're pass catchers, right? Which Raheem Mostert is a pass catcher. But unless it's going to be that, pass catching running back, most likely the other team's not going to sit there and run the football nonstop and just, grind out yardage. They're probably not going to do that because they're going to be in a back and forth game where they're trying to put up some points. So I am going to go ahead and get Jalen Waddle here. I really would love to get Tyreek Hill, but I'm not going to find myself there because of how expensive this stack already is. And that's going to be my starting stack right there. Now let's go for a defense. I'm going to go for a cheap defense and try to get, a little bit of a lucky break starting off week 1. And I think the best option here, I might go with, I feel like Arizona could be a sneaky good defense week 1. I don't know. They're going against Commanders. I don't know. I probably wouldn't go with that one. Maybe I'm going to go with Tennessee versus the Saints. I love Derek Carr, and I think Derek Carr can be very successful, but it's possible he struggles week 1 in the season. If he throws a couple picks early, that could help us out immensely. Alright, so now I'd like to go with some cheaper plays here. This is, of course, going to keep us in that kind of ballpark range of where we want to be. I'm not going with Rashad Bateman because, again, he is coming off injury. I'm going with Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is going to be somewhat of a not. I don't think he'll be a chalky play at all. I don't think many people are going to be going after him. He is a rookie, but he is in an offense that's going to be throwing the ball a lot in this Week 1 game, and he should get a lot of great targets. Next guy I'm going with is Isaiah Likely, another really good asset in that Ravens offense. He's a solid vertical threat tight end. They're trying to utilize him a lot more. He should be able to get behind Houston's defense and make a couple plays here. Now, I will say overall wise, is there any option I like buying back into this game? I do like Dameon Pierce a lot, especially because his Ravens defensive line did lose a couple pieces this offseason. See if we can get there. I think we can definitely get there with Dameon Pierce. Nice little buyback option also into that game, which I do like. And you know what? Hang on. I'm going to go Mark Andrews, the tight end position, over Isaiah Likely here. And I think we're going to do our last option here. I don't really want to double stack. Duvernay always does interest me because he does have some decent games sometimes. But I feel like with him being so far down the depth chart, it's not going to be viable. Nelson Aguilar does interest me a lot too because in training camp so far in practices, Lamar Jackson has found really great connections with Nelson Aguilar. And it's possible the Texans try to shut down Odell, try to shut down Rashad Bateman. If Rashad Bateman has any setbacks with injuries in this game, it's going to instantly just propel up Nelson Aguilar as that fourth receiver. So I might take a shot at Nelson Aguilar here. Usually how I like to break down players is I like to break down players like, my lineup's like this, right? I like my consistent guaranteed points, right? So, for example, I know Austin Eckler is going to go out there and put up some good points. I know that for a fact, right? Jalen Waddle, he's going to put up his. He's going to get his in this game. Mark Andrews, he's going to get his in this game. Then I like players with really high ceilings. That includes Zay Flowers. This guy that, could go out there and put up 10 points. Or he could put up 28, 35 points, depending on how good he does. Next guy down his list here, Nelson Aguilar, I feel like he has a very low floor, meaning that, he could go out there and put up 2 points. Or he could go out there and put up some crazy, crazy points. It's kind of iffy. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I love this lineup right away for Week 1. But I just wanted to go ahead and make this video, kind of break down my thought process of everything. I might end up changing this. For example, we might get off... I don't want to get off Jalen Waddle. I really don't, because I do want to have that stack right there. I might just do a skinny stack. Yeah, I might just do a skinny stack here. Let me see. What could we hit if we did a skinny stack with Herbo here? Where could we hit at? Christian Watson with Green Bay. I actually do like that. It's going to be scary to see, obviously, with, Jordan Love as a quarterback. But it is Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs. These are the top 2 options. I could get away and go with him. But then again, like I said, if I truly believe, which I do, that this Miami Dolphins game is going to be a high-scoring game, that Bears game very likely could be a low-scoring game. And it's very possible that they struggle on offense. So I don't know if I want to get away and go with that. I will say, with his lineup right here, right, so far, I think Dameon Pierce, he has a very solid floor. I don't know what his ceiling is, in all honesty. And I don't think his ceiling is that high in this game, because the Ravens are known for their defense. They are known for shutting down people. I will say Herbo has a high ceiling. Austin Eckler has a high ceiling. Waddle has a high ceiling. Zay has a high ceiling. Mark Andrews has a high ceiling. Aguilar, I would say, probably has kind of like a middle ceiling. His ceiling probably is around 15, 20 points. So I do want to put... I don't know, because Mike Williams is that guy that I feel like if I want to take a shot where listen, I need someone who's gonna could go off, right? I call it the home run play, right? In this lineup right here, I have a lot of home run plays, but I want someone, and I have obviously no one really high. I'm gonna say high floor plays, but all these guys are pretty much high floor plays. I might. Amari Cooper versus the Bengals does interest me a tad bit. And the only reason why is because Bengals have a new secondary, they have newer safeties, newer corners. So that does give me a tad bit of interest. Chris Godwin, nah, I'm not interested in anything Tampa Bay. I might just go back to Mike Williams here. Again, like I said, it is a double stack. I think we're going to do that for the first video of the season, but we will be making plenty of other videos breaking down all these other stacks I like and what I don't like. We will be doing Thursday night matchups, Sunday night matchups, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night matchups throughout the season. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.